The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets fell flat against the Patriots in primetime, and Justin Fields is not an NFL starting quarterback. Postgame show starts right now.
I'm gonna do my silly dance, cause yeah, feels like shit. We'll have a quarterback playing. Rich has all the answers. So you should act dictionary. Our team is lurking.
The New York Jets lose. I mean, what else is new? Back to reality. Jets fall to the Patriots in primetime by a final score of 27-14. Final score, probably not the best indicator of the feel for the game. It never really felt like the Jets had a chance in this one. Welcome, everyone. Appreciate you spending time whether you're watching live or after the fact. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Look, the Jets went out there and they didn't get embarrassed, right? I'm so tired of the moral victories, right? I can't do it. They didn't get embarrassed, but they didn't play well. They made way too many mistakes. And I'll get to the quarterback, who by far is the biggest issue on this team and was the biggest issue again tonight. But there were too many mistakes. And really, the first drive of the game was the biggest outlier for the Jets. Like, you knew after the scripted plays were done, and give credit to Tanner Engstrand, he had a great opening drive script. It worked. It was the best opening drive we've seen from the Jets in years. But once the opening drive script essentially ran out, the Jets are just not good enough to win these type of games. They're not. I mean, it was a great start. 14 plays, 72 yards. Fields capping it off with a rushing score. 28 rushing yards on the opening drive for Fields. He didn't have more than 31 rushing yards in a game since week 4. And you drained a tremendous amount of time off the clock. But let's be real, people. The Jets are not good enough with this quarterback. They're not. Not when they also, on top of everything, make the amount of mistakes that they made in this game tonight. The drops. A.D. Mitchell. How many drops is he going to have, right? Fields was not good, and I promise you I will eviscerate him coming up. But A.D. Mitchell, my God, he couldn't catch a cold tonight. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. The penalties were a problem tonight. Shocking, I know. Back to reality. We're not playing the Browns or the Bengals. Like tonight, the Jets committed 7 penalties for 62 yards. They came in big spots, too. How about the fact there was a moment in this game where the Jets had 12 men on the field following the start to a drive? How do you come out of a TV timeout and still have 12 men on the field? It's just brutal. Brutal. They can't force a turnover. Like, the script for the Jets to win tonight, they were going to have to come up with a fumble recovery or an interception. They didn't either. They have 1 turnover on the year. I mean, we're talking about historic ineptitude for the New York Jets. 1 takeaway through the first 10 games now on the season. It's the fewest in NFL history. How does Steve Wilkes survive this year? He shouldn't. This defense, well, they did play a lot better in the second half. You have to force turnovers. That's the only way you're going to win when you're a 12.5-point underdog on the road. You have to make plays. And, Tony Adams basically took away an interception from Quantez Stiggers in this game. There were opportunities there, and you just never got a sense the Jets were going to make this a real game, even though at halftime, despite having just 93 yards of total offense, they only trailed by 7 points. They did a terrible job finding ways to get Breece Hall the ball tonight. Once again, the defense did not make enough big plays. They had to make big plays if they were going to win this game, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. The Jets had every opportunity to make this a real game, but they did not make enough plays. Period. Now we get to the quarterback. Justin Fields tonight continued to prove why he is not a starting quarterback in this league. He's not. He should have been benched at halftime of this game. He should have been benched. The Jets were lucky to only be down 7. Justin Fields had 23 passing yards. He only had 1 completion to a wide receiver, 0 completions longer than 9 air yards. It's the same thing every week. And this head coach continues to ride with this quarterback. When, let's be real, we know what we're watching. I haven't listened to Aaron Glenn at the podium. We'll play his presser coming up. But if he says I got to watch the tape, I'm going to lose my mind. Here's what you need to watch. The game in real time. He can't play. Justin Fields, nice guy. Great moment in Cincinnati after what Woody Johnson said. But Woody Johnson was right. Justin Fields can't complete a pass. Cincinnati's an outlier game. Week 1 against the Steelers is an outlier game. You were playing a team that had no film on you, and you didn't even win that game. Oh, by the way, I mean, look at this passing log for Justin Fields now. He is not an NFL quarterback, man. He's had 5 games this year with 116 passing yards or fewer. I mean, they joked on the broadcast when he got over 100 yards. You know, Justin Fields is now over 100 yards passing. You know, that's a big deal for them. Like, you're being mocked by Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels. And look, we could talk about the terrible drops that A.D. Mitchell had. But how about the other missed throws that Fields made tonight? The team has no chance when teams know this guy can't beat them. And the Jets do not have a good enough defense or good enough weapons to mask the awful quarterback play. And in the past, it'd be very easy for people to say, well, Jake, what do you expect from the quarterback when the offensive line is so bad, right? Oh, the O-line. The O-line is really good. The O-line held up. The O-line gave Justin Fields time. We can't use the offensive line as an excuse. Myles Garrett just came off the worst game of his career last week. All right? Yes, the Jets lack weapons. We understand that. This is a problem that starts with the quarterback. The fumble tonight was inexcusable. Some of the missed throws were inexcusable. He's too slow to just take off and run. They talked about it on the broadcast. I thought Herbstreit was right. Hey, first read not there, go. There's no rhythm, there's no flow. Then you watch Drake May, and he's calm in the pocket. He has a plan. He's smooth. He doesn't feel panicked. Fields, it's all panicked, all rushed. We've seen this. I mean, seriously, they gave Justin Fields $30 million guaranteed. He's a more mobile Zach Wilson at this point. Yeah, the opening drive was great. Once they got away from the game script, right? You script your first 15 plays, and the Jets had this magnificent opening drive. He couldn't do anything. Why? Because he stinks. Willie Colon said it best on SNY after the game. He's not an NFL quarterback. And if they continue to start him, they are doing themselves a major disservice. Not because I'm gung-ho on the 2-8 Jets winning games, but because we need to evaluate what we have on this team. You can't evaluate your offensive players if you have a quarterback that doesn't take chances and throw downfield. You can't do it. You know, I want to see more from John Mechie, who was maybe a lone bright spot from any playmaker tonight. I want to see Mason Taylor get more opportunities. I would like to see A.D. Mitchell hopefully bounce back and get more chances. With Fields, though, him getting over 100 yards tonight was an accomplishment on the broadcast. It's just, you can't continue with this guy, man. You can't. And yes, it is not obviously all on the quarterback, but it all starts with the quarterback because you got to be perfect everywhere else if your quarterback is going to be this bad. You're in the game at halftime, only down by 7 points. Aaron Glenn needed to go to Tyrod Taylor. Again, he is so stubborn with this quarterback. It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable to continue to trot him out there and expect a different result. Justin Fields did not do a bunch of really good things tonight, as I'm sure Aaron Glenn's going to try and say. He's not good enough. And I'm not sitting here telling you Tyrod Taylor is all of a sudden the answer for this team, but I could run an NFL offense with him. And you know what? When he inevitably gets hurt, they get Brady Cook up and ready. And let's see what he could do. Why not? It's enough. Fields cannot be the quarterback the rest of the season, and he cannot be the quarterback next year as the bridge when a rookie's behind him. No chance. Take the L. You made a mistake signing him. It didn't work. $30 million guaranteed for a more mobile Zach Wilson. You can't do it. And just there were just too many mistakes the Jets made tonight. What's his name? Number 29, not realizing the Patriots defender was never touched. Like, what are we doing? Not being able to intercept a single pass again. Michael Clemens getting beat again. I mean, every week, teams game plan, hey, run at Clemens and he will miss. And that led to a touchdown tonight in the first half of the game for New England. Steve Wilks' offense or defense, is incredibly predictable. How many times are the Jets going to be in man on third or fourth down? Like, New England knows what's coming. It's just, I don't even want to scream and yell. I don't have it in me. This team doesn't deserve the passion we still give them as Jet fans. They don't. Like, if we could simulate the end of these next, however many games are left, right? We play 10 games, these next 7 games. Like, I'd press a button and do it in a second. I'm sick of watching this team. They're going nowhere with this quarterback. And I have major concerns about this coaching staff. The head coach is likely not going anywhere after Woody Johnson allowed them to make the trades at the deadline with Sauce and Quinnen. So he's here. But his staff needs to be completely switched up in the offseason. Both coordinators, as far as I'm concerned, are coaching for their respective jobs down the stretch, which is why I'd like to give Tanner Engstrand a legitimate drop-back quarterback who at least you can call a conventional offense with, and Tyrod for these games, or Brady Cook for the remaining games. Steve Wilks, though, I mean, I'm sorry. Enough. We know the Jets defense is lacking talent. I understand that. It shouldn't be this bad. Shouldn't be this bad. Once again, the New York Jets have set an NFL record for the least amount of defensive takeaways this late into the season. They already had the record with 1 through 9 games. They just increased their own record. It's such a disaster what we watched tonight. It really is. It's unacceptable. It's non-competitive football. They don't run an NFL offense. They don't. It just, I'm just bewildered that we're still here. How many times have we basically had the same theme to a game that we come on and discuss? It's just, it's unacceptable, man. Like, the Jets with better quarterback play would have maybe had a chance tonight, or a head coach with any sort of awareness for the quarterback position, they would have had a chance tonight, even with their top 2 receivers being guys they acquired 10 days ago. I mean, they didn't quit tonight. They didn't get embarrassed, so I guess that's a moral victory if you want it. But aren't we sick of that? They were in the game tonight. They didn't, this is not a national disgrace that we witnessed, that we've seen so many times over the years against the Patriots, but it's just disgusting, man. The Patriots were bad for 2 years. They hire the right coach that we all knew was the right coach for the Jets. But of course, they have a young quarterback and they hire a great offensive coordinator in McDaniels for him. And look what happens. It's so frustrating. 2-8 and way more questions than answers. I don't care how many draft picks the Jets have over the next 2 years. That's nice. You know what's also really important? Actually having a real head coach. And he once again proved tonight he has no feel for the game by not benching Justin Fields at any point. It's unacceptable. He is not an NFL quarterback. And if you're watching this game as a head coach and you don't have a feel for the game to make a change, how am I supposed to expect you to oversee this rebuild properly now? And I don't even care, about the Jets, the final score looking like, oh, they hung around, they only lost by 13. Like, if you watched the game tonight, did you think the Jets played a crisp game? Like, they had so many mental mistakes, man. It's just frustrating. Obviously, it starts with the quarterback, but there's other things, too, that we shouldn't let slide. Another guy I had in my notes that was terrible tonight was Jarvis Brownlee. Right? All of a sudden, he's got to play on the outside because Sauce isn't here anymore and AZ Thomas is out and he's getting exposed. I mean, he's a penalty machine these last couple games here. Not good. Just it really disheartening, disappointing performance by the Jets. They didn't get embarrassed. I guess that's a positive, but it's really tough to like just be watching this level of ineptitude football-wise. It really is. They gave Justin Fields $30 million guaranteed, folks. He's not a rookie. He's in his 5th year. He's in his 5th year. They paid him $30 million guaranteed for a more mobile Zach Wilson. Like that's what they signed. This is another game that with an NFL quarterback, he maybe would have had a chance, but now I guess we'll never know. It just unbelievable. For those who care, which should be everyone at this point at 2-8, here's your look at the Tankathon standings. The New York Jets, by virtue of the loss tonight, have moved up by 2 spots. They're now picking number 3. Important to note, Tennessee has their quarterback. New Orleans probably doesn't, although Tyler Shuck did not look bad in his first real start, I suppose, last week, or maybe that was his second start, whatever. He plays well down the stretch. Root for that. So maybe the Jets will once again be in position to get a QB without having to trade up. But if you got to trade up, I will get out in front of this. I don't care what it takes within reason. I'm not trading away 3 first-rounders to move up a couple spots. But if it costs me a second and swapping picks to go from 3 to 1, do it. Pick Simpson, pick Mendoza, pick whoever you love, because I cannot stomach a bridge quarterback for 2026. Oh, Justin Fields for 1 more year. Enough. I can't do it. And if you're being honest, if you're a real Jet fan, neither should you. We know drafting a quarterback's the ultimate crapshoot. So pick a quarterback in the first round, take someone on day 3, and hell, if it doesn't work, you could take another one next year. The Cardinals did it with Josh Rosen and Kyler Murray. Because I am done going through years where we just have nothing. This is not an NFL quarterback. And this guy got paid $30 million to have 5 starts where he's at 116 passing yards or less. And even some of the games where he had a lot of passing yards, right? Dallas on October 5th. Are we serious? Garbage time king Justin Fields that day. It's just such a joke. They got lucky to beat the Browns because they got a gift from their special teams, and the Browns being, well, the Browns. They beat the worst defense in the league. What have they really done? Are the Jets the worst team in football? No. Guess what? They shouldn't have been. Remember, their win total was 6.5. They're going to come nowhere near that. But I'm supposed to have faith in this head coach? Okay, I'll play along. Sure. Speaking of the head coach, I haven't heard it yet, but I can almost guarantee he will somehow try and justify Justin Fields' performance tonight. I haven't heard it yet, but I can promise you, if I know Aaron Glenn the way I think I know Mr. Accountability, I can almost guarantee you he will say something complimentary about Fields or say he's got to watch the tape, but he did some good stuff out there. I'm telling you it's coming. Here we go. Let's listen all together. Aaron Glenn moments ago at the podium.
All right. No injuries to talk about. When it comes to this game, give those guys a lot of credit. That is a well-coached team that has a quarterback that's playing really, really well, which we all knew. Defensively, they did a really good job. And we got to do a better job just across the board. There were a number of things within that game. And I'm just talking coaches and players that we got to do a better job of. So we have this little mini break that we have. As we come back on Monday and we get to work, and we'll have an extra bonus day to get some work in. But, man, the one thing that really just sticks out is details and discipline. That was a box that we didn't check off today. And we have to look at those things, coaches and players alike, and do a better job there. So looking forward to getting back Monday, looking at this film, getting to Monday, getting to work, and getting ready to move on to our next game. Any questions?
You looked, that first drive was, seemingly textbook.
Yeah.
That Tanner had scripted. But it seemed like there's the following drives in the first half, you got away from Justin running the ball a little bit. What was going on there?
Yeah, well, the thing is, we don't want to make a habit of our quarterbacks just continue to run because we can put them in harm's way. But the thing is, the plan was to get the ball, and I wanted to get it first, and I want the offense to get the ball first. And the reason why is when you look at how they operated, they've had 6 times their defense on the field. It was 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals. So I felt like if we get a fast start, that we'll be in a good position. And Justin ran the ball quite a bit. The thing is, man, we can't put Justin in a situation where he's a running back. And I think we all know that because we'll put him in harm's way. So
No. Not that you're going to put him in harm's way, Aaron. He can't throw consistently from the pocket. He can't do it. Joke. Gonna put him in harm's way. He needs to use his legs more. That's the whole point of this offense. That's the plan, I thought, for the offense. That he would go out there and use his legs to set up the passing attack. Tonight was the first time we've seen run pass options. We've seen, quarterback keepers. We actually saw, I thought on the opening drive, a beautiful scripted drive where on the 3rd and short, they ran the option with Brees, with Fields flipping it to him. That's what we need more of this year. But then teams adjust. Good teams do. And this quarterback that you gave $30 million to, Aaron Glenn, is not good enough. That's on you.
But he did a good job. I mean, you're right. He did a good job on some of those runs. We just have to be very calculated on when we do those things.
You talk about details and discipline. Are you referring to penalties or is there something else?
Well, just across the board. I have very high standards for our team in general. And that's the one thing that we talk about quite a bit. And I will never go away from those standards. And the players know that. And they have bought into that. And they know that too. And when I say details and discipline, again, I'm not just talking about the players. I'm talking about us as coaches too. We have to make sure that we're on the same page and we're doing the things that we have to do to help those guys. So this is not a one-way street where everything is on the players. Coaches are involved in that too.
I know you have to watch the film, but how do you think Justin played overall?
Listen, there are some good things. There's some really good things. I thought he put some balls out there, and we got to have some guys that make some plays for him too. Obviously, I know for a fact that he's going to say there's some things that he could have done better. Again, we do have to watch the tape, but I thought there were some good things he did out there.
Oh, there it is, folks. There it is. If you had that on your bingo card, congratulations. Cash it. Oh, my God. He played well, and I got to watch the tape. You got to bench him. He stinks.
What were some of the issues that contributed to, I think it was 116 yards passing only? So what were
Say it again.
What were some of the issues that contributed to the struggles with the passing game?
Again, I'll go back and say, there's some things I'm sure Justin's going to say, man, I could have done better. I could have made some plays. But then again, man, there were some plays out there that our guys got to make for him also. And you'll be able to see that, as you go back and watch the tape. And again, we're all accountable for that, as far as coaches, make sure we put our guys in the right position. The receivers, make sure they catch the ball. And then we can say, Justin, make sure he's getting the ball to some other guys. But to me, that was really it. Because there were some plays out there to be made. I thought he had some really good throws. We just got to finish those things.
Defensively, I know that the quarterback's playing at a high level now. But he had some guys running wide open.
Yes.
What did you see secondary break?
You know what? I really have to watch the tape to give you a true answer on that. And I'm not trying to run away from that answer at all. But that did happen. It was a number of plays where guys were running, and that bothers me. It really does. So we have to clean that up because you can't let any quarterback, have those type of wide open receivers, especially him, because he will find them. So. That can be a part of who we are, and it was unacceptable.
The pass rush not getting home, do you think that was a result of the protection holding up, or was it just kind of Drake moving around within the pocket?
Well, it was very obvious that they were worried about Will, and you see he got chipped a number of times. And when he does get the chip, we got to have other guys to go out there and make plays. And I would say this too: we were back there a couple of times to make it when we just missed the plays, and that's something that we got to do a better job of is finishing. So, and I told our guys that when we went in a half, but there were a number of times we should have had the quarterback corralled and we should have had him on the ground, and we didn't finish the play.
Mitchell, a couple more. Mitchell got in there with his debut. What were your takeaways on his?
Listen, he's a big, fast. He's going to be a good player for us. I mean, he missed some balls today. I think we all saw that. Him being here for 2 weeks and have truly a week of really going out there and practicing, we got to get him back out there and do more. But I think he will tell you himself that he got to make some of those plays that was thrown to him. And we got to do a better job of trying to get him open also.
You said some nice things about Drake, and you saw it on tape.
About who?
Drake May, sorry. What did you see in person that's striking about him?
Oh, nothing different. We know he's a good player, so nothing different.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, folks.
I muted my mic. I was so disgusted. How are we defending that quarterback? Really? Watch the tape. And when you're done watching the tape, burn it and say Tyrod Taylor is our starter going forward. Stop playing the BS games with the media, not naming a quarterback. If you name Justin Fields your starting quarterback, you once again continue to prove your incompetence. Enough. The guy that you wanted and gave $30 million to, but can't admit a mistake. That's almost worse than signing him. Admit a mistake. Robert Kraft admitted a mistake when he hired Gerard Mayo. And guess what he did? He fired him after a year and hired a real coach, Mike Vrabel. Admit your mistake, Aaron Glenn. What a joke. It took until the end of the game for Justin Fields just to get over 100 yards. It's being celebrated on the broadcast. Oh, it's big for him. You know, the Patriots were 4-13 last year. They were worse than the Jets. All these teams in the league could figure it out. They could turn it around so quick. And then there's the Jets, who haven't had a winning season since Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's on TV right now, was the quarterback. It's so frustrating, man. And once again, they didn't get embarrassed tonight. They played hard, but it's just another reminder of just how frustrating it is to root for this team because you just don't feel like the Jets play the same sport when you watch other real teams in the league. And the Patriots were worse than the Jets last year. It's mind-boggling, man. Fields is not an NFL quarterback. And Aaron Glenn trying to defend him. It's embarrassing. He is putrid. It's so bad. Just brutal. If you're watching live right now, thank you. We got over 1,000 people in here. It's almost midnight after this debacle, so I want to thank the audience for that. Make sure you join the Patreon if you want bonus content. We had Wayne Corbett on the show yesterday, although I aired it today, so you could watch that back if you missed it. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. We're going to get to your super chats coming up. I promise we will load up and get to your calls as well. Jets lose. You know the drill. They lose. They're now 2-8 on the year. The upcoming schedule has them facing the Ravens in Baltimore in week 12. That will be on November 23rd, so 10 days from now. Then they'll play Atlanta, Miami, Jacksonville, and New Orleans. Those all feel like games where you should have a chance to win each of them. But will they? And at this point, at 2-8, anyone who's rooting for losses, I get it. I was certainly not rooting for a loss tonight. Any Jet fan who is rooting for them to lose tonight when they're playing the freaking Patriots, find a new show. It's frustrating, man. You see how far away the Jets are because in the NFL, it's coach and quarterback. And right now, I have major questions about the head coach. And if you don't, you're lying to yourself. You are. He has no feel for the game whatsoever. No feel. How's the Steve Wilkes hire working out? I get it. They traded away Sauce and Quinn. And the defense was crap before those guys were dealt. And they had 8 of their 11 starters back. By the way, Brandon Stevens. Yeah, he was playing better after a dreadful start. And then tonight, he had a rough game. Great play, right? He made the one great pass breakup. That the game would have been, effectively over right then and there. But that doesn't make up for all the other mistakes he made. Brownlee was bad. Just the whole secondary is bad. One thing I put in my notes when watching this game, they have all these picks, right? You look at the amount of picks the Jets have. I'm not even talking about the 2-1s this year and the 2-2s. The New York Jets collectively have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 picks in all likelihood. If you count some of the 7th round comp picks they're going to get. Are they going to draft 13 players? No. But you know what they need to do? They need to address the depth on this defense. Linebacker, safety, corner. Depth. They have nothing. They better hit on some players there, man. Because, anyone could draft, a stud tackle at 7. You're supposed to, right? Like they get credit for Membu. They get credit for Taylor. They got to be better on day 2 and day 3. 3rd round on. That's how you could churn the roster over and get some legitimate depth on this team because they're lacking it. In a game like tonight, it was just exposed. But I mean, the fact that it took Justin Fields an entire game to get over 100 yards passing, it's just, we're not watching football. It's just, oh, the pain, as Beningo would say. All right, some super chats here, then your calls. Hex starts it off. I'm done with Fields. 7 games left to see what we have on offense. So rotate Cook and Tyrod. Enough is enough. Agreed. NY Jets girl says Fields wasn't great, but a lot of drops. Mitchell's awful. Rucker needs to catch the damn ball. It's a bad drop by Rucker. I get it. The game was over at that point, though. Tyrone says Fields is not an NFL quarterback. I hope AG doesn't have a say in drafting and scouting our next quarterback. We actually could have won that game. Yeah, I mean, how many games can we say this year the Jets would have won if they started a different quarterback? They started Tyrod. London for sure if they benched him. They definitely could have won the Panther game if they gave Tyrod a full week of prep instead of just coming in cold off the bench. At least would have been more winnable. I was at that game. This game tonight. And I don't even know if they would have won with Tyrod, but you're only down 7 at halftime, and Fields at 23 passing yards. Make a change. Show some balls if you're the head coach. Mr. Accountability. He says he's going to hold guys accountable. He doesn't hold the quarterback accountable. JJ says this will be 3 hours of everyone blaming Fields. Who would you like to blame, JJ? It's on the head coach and Justin Fields. Who would you like to blame? Why did the Jets ultimately lose tonight? Sorry, if you want me to just be blindly positive about Justin Fields, I don't know what to tell you, man. He's had 5 games this year where he's had 116 passing yards or fewer. That's pathetic. Dan says, hate to say it, but I'm out on Glenn already. Gotham Green Goblin with 2 super chats of $10 each. I will make sure I get you in the raffle. Let me make that announcement too. The raffle on Tuesday next week. Sign Revis helmet, sign LaDainian Tomlinson jersey, sign CJ Mosley helmet are the top prizes in our weekly raffle. Christopher says the pass coverage was not existent all night. Guys wide open with no Jet defenders even near the receiver. Fire Wilkes, start Tyrod. I mean, to me, Steve Wilkes, thank you for your service. We'll see you later. Seriously. I need a new DC. And if you're going to keep Engstrand, I need a new offensive staff around him. You can keep the O-line coach. I think Steve Hyden's done a good job. I think the O-line's actually not an issue for the Jets. It's competent and should get better as they grow and hopefully stay healthy. But our quarterback coach, Charles London, he's a running back. Why is he in charge of quarterbacks? Hire a real offensive QB coach for the rookie we're taking. Like, let's make sure if we're keeping Glenn, because Woody loves him and he gives him hugs every morning, right? To quote him, gives him hugs every day.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Let's make sure Aaron Glenn makes adjustments to his coaching staff. Obviously, Wilkes is the obvious one. They got to get a better defensive coordinator. Defense should not be this bad. 1 turnover through 10 games. 1! It's embarrassing. But the offensive staff needs work too. And it's not even just Engstrand, right? Like, what does Scott Turner do? It's like the senior, offensive assistant. Get someone that has a clue. All right. Give Jordan Palmer a blind check to leave his college QB coaching business and say, hey, we want you in the war room helping us pick the quarterback we're going to take. And your job is to work with them 24/7, 365. Like something like that, man. That's what they need. Not a running back coach. It's also a quarterback coach. Gotham Green Goblin's a channel member. Thank you, sir. Chris writes in, Herb Street openly talking about bringing in a vet next year to groom the rookie in the first quarter. Everyone knows what Justin is besides Glenn. I mean, it's an embarrassment, man. We're all watching the game. We all see the same thing. Right. Michael says Glenn's loyalty ain't going anywhere to Fields. He's going to kill this latest regime. It just exposes him. Once again, he has no feel. None. The Jets don't even try to throw downfield. And I got to listen to Aaron Glenn after this game tonight say there are some good things. There are some really good things talking about Justin Fields. Enough. Because he can make a couple plays with his legs. We've been screaming for that all year. They don't do it enough. And when you get down in these games, you can't do it. New England would gladly sacrifice yards in exchange for clock. They knew the Jets were no threat to actually come back in this game once they made it 2 scores. It was over. We all knew it was over. Dan says, only Ruckert and Mason Taylor could catch the ball. Macy writes, and Engstrand dialed up open receivers on the 3 and outs. No way he should be fired. Wilkes' defense did get stops. They didn't force turnovers. They didn't have enough sacks. They didn't wreck the game. You gotta force turnovers, man. You can't win on the road if you don't force turnovers. They didn't get embarrassed, but I don't know, man. I don't think this was like a great defensive game by any means. Too many penalties. JJ, Fields was bad, but Mitchell and Rucker combined 5 drops. Brownlee was off for our defense, and specifically our secondary cost us. Mechie and Taylor shine. Mechie's definitely a bright spot. Mason Taylor, we know, is good. It's just not enough, man. They don't have enough. It starts with quarterback, though. Coach and quarterback. I don't think we have either. I know we don't have a quarterback. To be determined on the coach, but how can anyone feel good about Aaron Glenn? Oh, but Jake, they've improved so much. The penalties are down. How about tonight against a real team? Were they down tonight? 7? Brian, the offensive coordinator is a keeper, needs a QB. I don't think Engstrand's terrible, but I would like to, before I just blindly anoint him that he should be here, I'd like to see him with Tyrod Taylor or Brady Cook so we can see a conventional offense be called. And let's evaluate him over these 7 games here. Macy says, Kirk's commentary, not sure if any of the quarterbacks prefers the Jets to go free agency. That's wonderful. Every year we do the next year's quarterback class is going to be so much better. Every year we do this. Enough. It is a crapshoot. Draft someone this year, you can take someone else again next year. I'm not doing the wait till 2027 nonsense. You have 5 firsts over the next 2 years. You're picking 3rd in the draft right now. Tennessee doesn't need a quarterback. Get someone. Can we stop? All right. Everyone last year after the draft, oh, next year is going to be so good. You got all these guys that are coming out. We say it every single year, and it never works out that way. It doesn't. Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson, no one was talking about them at the beginning of the year. This class was supposed to be Klubnik and Nussmeier, who got benched, and Sellers, who's been bad and is probably transferring, and Arch Manning, who's not even coming out anyway. You have no idea what next year holds. And if the Jets are in a spot where, let's say they do wait till 2027, you really think it'd be wise for the Jets to bank on being able to move up? What if they win 6 games next year and the teams in front of them all need quarterbacks and they say, we're not trading out? Remember the Giants tried to get Drake May and New England said, no way. Giants could have moved up from 6 to 3 and they had all these picks they were offering. If the teams in front of you need quarterbacks next year, you might not be able to get the guy you want. So you can't wait till 2027. Take someone this year, and you could take someone again next year if, God forbid, it all blows up and doesn't work out. BC says we're supposed to trust AG to pick a rookie QB. Unfortunately, we had no choice, which is why I would love to see some improvement from this head coach. But instead, what Aaron Glenn gave us tonight is repeating the same goddamn mistake again and again and again by not benching this quarterback who can't play. And believe me, as Jet fans, we are experts in quarterbacks who can't play. This is Wilson level of bad. Eli in the raffle for 5. Thank you, Eli. I do appreciate you, even though I'm disgusted with our football team right now. Joke. Anthony in our raffle for 2. Jake Glenn has no clue. Why is he worried about protecting Fields? If he's so worried about him running too much, he shouldn't be the quarterback because he sure as hell can't throw the ball. I mean, the amount of misses he had tonight. And yes, Mitchell had some bad drops. There's no doubt. That's going to happen, though. Overcome that. But he can't. He's not good enough to do it. It's so predictable. That's the problem. It is so predictable. You take out the great opening drive the Jets had tonight. What else did they do on offense? Once the scripted plays stopped, that was it, right? Good zone read on the opening drive, had some design runs. They had the option working. And then once Vrabel and the New England Patriots adjusted, guess what? The Jets did not do anything. Joe, if Indy Jet fan defends Fields, I'll lose it. Anyone trying to defend Justin Fields, please seek help. Seek help. All right? Seek help.
You tell me how crazy I am. I just took 4 chair headshots.
That's what it was like watching this performance tonight by Justin Fields. Big fella, the sick thing about watching tonight's game is Fields was awful, but it didn't feel as awful as it was because of Fields' level of play in previous weeks. That's how far we are at quarterback crazy. It's actually a great point. Like, Fields was bad tonight, but by Fields' standards, this was one of his better games of the last 4 or 5 we've seen. He's actually not wrong. This is the best point I think anyone will make tonight on the postgame show. He's right. As bad as Fields was tonight, compared to his 54-yard stellar performance on Sunday that some of you delusional Jet fans or Fields stands were trying to defend, he was better tonight. But he still sucked. Yes, the Bengal game was a great outlier game against the worst defense in football. And it still took a miracle for the Jets to win that game, by the way. Panther game, a joke. I was there. He got benched. Bronco game, enough said. Bills game week 2. It's just, he's not the guy, man. He's a good guy. He's made himself a lot of money. He'll be fine. He'll be a backup somewhere. He can't be on this team next year, though, folks. He just can't. Why are we lying to ourselves? Stone Cold. And Stone Cold, thanks for joining the Patreon, my man. Is AG actually tanking and just playing the media, or is he not capable of pulling that off? No. If you think the Jets, see, this is how you know the Jets are so goddamn terrible. People actually think this is like some sort of master plan to be bad. No, the Jets are just bad. Their head coach openly talked about how they're going to win now. He told people that they were going to be the ones to coach up Justin Fields. He said publicly that Fields has never been coached properly, that they were going to, quote, let him play quarterback. They thought they could take a team that blew the lead in the fourth quarter last year 7 times, franchise record, and with better coaching, they were going to make this team a winning football team. That was the plan. That's what was pitched to Woody Johnson. Trust me, I know. I know this. This was not this, oh, we're going to be bad. They pivoted to that when they started 1-7 and got unbelievable value for Quinnen and Sauce. So they pivoted to this idea of, oh, it's all about the future. That wasn't the plan. Aaron Glenn didn't come in and tear this thing down. You know what he did? He paid Jamie and Sherwood. He paid Sauce Gardner. He paid Garrett Wilson. He retained Tony Adams. He retained Michael Clemens. He kept Xavier Gibson, which cost them a game week 1. He retained Isaiah Oliver. They paid Stevens $36 million. That was their big free agent signing, besides Fields, who got $30 million guaranteed and was given the starting job with no competition, even though a Hall of Fame coach in Pittsburgh benched him at 4-2 and never went back to him for a washed Russell Wilson. And I had people arguing with me that Aaron Glenn knows more than Mike Tomlin. Are you fucking kidding me, respectfully? You really think Mike Tomlin was going to be wrong and Aaron Glenn was going to be right on Justin Fields? Really? And I said it at the time, so there's not revisionist history. Everything I say is on the record. It disgusts me. So I'm supposed to now have blind faith that this is the right head coach to lead this team. I hope he is. I hope he gets better. But what have we seen? He keeps making the same mistake. He has no feel for the game. How do you not bench Fields at halftime tonight? He had 23 passing yards. Oh, the score is close. Who cares? Use your eyes. Watch the game. If you're about accountability, how is Justin Fields remaining in this game? How? You're down 7 at halftime. You're lucky to only be down 7. New England missed a field goal that would have made it a 2-score game. 23 passing yards at halftime. You make the change. It was so obvious once they got done with the scripted plays, they had nothing. It's what else is there to say? Chris, thanks for the super chat. Robert, let's see if Glenn can coach Kirk Cousins. If their plan is Kirk Cousins, shoot me in the head. Draft a quarterback. Or, and this I don't think will happen, but you at least make the phone call. You call the Bengals up and you see how many ones they want for Joe Burrow. or Burrow actually is unhappy, would request a trade. That's it. At least he's got an offensive line with the Jets. Would this ever happen? No. Am I making the call and at least doing due diligence? Yes. That's the only bridge quarterback I want because he's not a bridge. He's Joe Burrow. He's 29. Oh, but Jakey gets hurt. Great. All quarterbacks that get hurt. When Joe Burrow plays, he's a top 3 player in the sport. He went to a Super Bowl with an awful offensive line. That's the only guy I'd be interested in that's not a rookie next year. Enough. All right? Jackson Dart's playing well for the Giants. He was not thought to be a guy that could come in and play well right away. He was a guy that was going to have to sit for a year because he had like 10 snaps in his career under center in college. You just never know. It is such a crapshoot. There's no perfect quarterback prospect. That was supposed to be Trevor Lawrence. If he played in a real market, right? If he didn't play in Jacksonville, where 7 people care about the Jaguars, he'd be a national conversation on all the major shows for being a bust. Caleb Williams gets so much more criticism than Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence was even more hyped up than Caleb Williams was. It's not even close. There's no perfect quarterback prospect. Keep drafting them until you get it right, because none of this matters, man, until you get the quarterback right. But the problem is you also need a coach. And that was the mistake the Jets did with Darnold, right? Adam Gase, coaching football to where it's going, ruined Darnold and the roster. So it's like you have, but like the Jets are actually in position with the offensive line, Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor, money to spend to get a receiver and using draft picks to get another weapon. They actually have some pieces here. They better keep Brees, either sign him or use the tag for a year, whatever. He needs to be on the team. But you got to get the quarterback situation figured out. Huh? We're not doing Kirk Cousins next year. O'Shea says score and Justin Fields yardage at the half if AD can catch a ball. Look, the Mitchell drops tonight were inexcusable. I'm not trying to defend it. But while those were a problem, the bigger problem was just the entire offensive operation, which starts with the quarterback. And you could see it. Once the scripted shit stopped working, they couldn't do anything. And you watch Fields, and it's like so aggravating to watch him play the quarterback position. He takes forever to make a decision. He looks unsure of himself. He has the longest release. It's just not smooth. Like you complete a pass, you're like, whoa. Joe Baxter says, I'm not upset. I'm hopeful for the future. Fields has to go, though. Let's effing go. Start Tyrod. Joseph, the penalties that stop momentum multiple times again. That was supposed to be cleaned up, I thought. Chris, we're going to draft Arch, so Fields is the bridge. They are not drafting Arch. Jay, come on. We have the worst wide receiver room in history. And this is the same wide receiver room that, against the Cincinnati Bengals, magically they were able to get open. It shouldn't be this bad, folks. I get it. The Jets lack weapons. Not having Garrett Wilson's a big deal. Guys, he had 116 passing yards tonight. He didn't eclipse 100 till late in the fourth quarter. He had 23 yards at halftime. This is not normal. Like, we've seen this so many times this year that, like, we're trying to justify it as normal. These are not normal. It's not normal. Like, I don't know, like, how else people could watch this. Like, Justin Fields has had 4 sub-NFL passing yard starts this year. 3 in the last 4 games entering tonight. Aaron Rodgers, in his 1 year starting with the Jets, he did it once. Zach Wilson did it 6 times in 3 years. Darnold did it once in 3 years. Justin Fields has done it 4 times this year. In 9 starts, and tonight he barely had over 100 yards. Fire Aaron Glenn says, Fire Aaron Glenn doesn't deserve to oversee the rebuild. He probably doesn't, but guess what? He will at least get next year. I'm telling you, folks, I'm convinced the Jets could finish with 2 wins, and Glenn's coming back. So we have to hope that he improves. We know Fields can't be his quarterback. But I'm not even necessarily convinced Glenn's going to bench Fields for the Ravens game next week. He's not going to tell the media, so we won't know for sure. But I'm not convinced. Ryan Gallant's in our raffle for 5. Thank you, Ryan. Not sure if you talked about it, but Willie Clone had a good Fields rant on the postgame. Need to start Tyrod to actually evaluate. D played decent. I didn't think the defense was that good, to be honest with you. Now, Drake May's really good. I get that. But they didn't force a turnover tonight, and they had chances to. They didn't sack the quarterback enough. They had some stupid penalties that prolonged drives. Were they awful tonight? No. Did I think the Jet defense played well tonight? Certainly not well enough if you're going to win on the road as a double-digit underdog. The biggest problem is the quarterback, though. They're just not good enough there. They got out-coached tonight, as they will most weeks, and they don't have a quarterback. So it's tough to win. I mean, look, they lost by 13, so New England barely covered the 12.5-point line. That line was dead on from FanDuel. But it's disappointing. You only sacked Drake May once. I know Will McDonald got held on another one that drew a penalty, but it wasn't a good enough performance. I mean, I just saw this stat here. Fewest net yards passing through 10 games in the last 14 years. You guys ready for this? You're going to laugh when you see this. Like, we are talking about one of the worst modern day passing quarterbacks ever. And this head coach, who I have to now blindly trust that he's going to be able to identify and develop the next young quarterback, he gave him $30 million. Fewest net passing through 10 games in the last 14 years. 2022, Bears, 1,281. Justin Fields started 10 games. Jets, 1,399. Fields started 9 games. You can't make it up. Kevin in the house. Drafted QB. Bring back Flacco as the bridge. I think Flacco's days with the Jets are done. Gotham Green says, Mac Jones bridge. Mac Jones is under contract for another year. Signed a 2-year deal. Mendoza and Simpson, I'm with you. Mitchell had separation, but had hands of Lazard. Tyrod rest of the season. Cook backup, see what we have. Yeah, I would play Tyrod and then Brady Cook. I've seen enough of Fields. I mean, it just like, so I Amazon has the like the view where you can watch the all 22 in real life, right? They had that. So I had 2 TVs going tonight with the regular feed and then the all 22. And it was fascinating watching a full game from the all 22 on my second screen. I when we get the next gen stats tomorrow, I could go through it. I mean, the Patriots had no respect for Justin Fields. I would say on like 75% of the dropbacks, if not more, the Patriots had 7 to 8 players, if not more, in the box. And he's just not good enough to make plays and beat any sort of defense like that. So it sucks. All right, we're going to open it up to your calls right now. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Big shout out to everyone who's watching live. We still got almost 1,000 in here. You guys are the best. We have our raffle on Tuesday. So make sure you enter the Asmaniac raffle for your chance to win a CJ Mosley signed helmet, LaDainian Tomlinson signed jersey, and a Darrelle Revis signed helmet. Those are the top prizes. The way to enter the raffle is to gift a channel membership to your fellow Asmaniac or send in a $10 super chat or higher to qualify. 10 gets you 2, 5 that will get you, or $20 will get you 5, 50, 10, 120. Big thanks to everyone who tuned in today. This is our 3rd show on the day. Before we get to your calls, let's pause and talk about tonight's sponsor. And oh boy, am I going to be needing this after tonight.
As Maniacs, let me tell you about something that has been an absolute game changer for sleep. If you're someone who struggles with noise, light, or just shutting your mind off at night, you need to check out the Manta Sleep Sound Mask. This thing is basically blackout sleep heaven with comfort speakers that are built right into it. Here's what makes it special. First, it has Bluetooth headphones built in, but the speakers, they are ultra thin, so you can listen to music, white noise, a meditation, a show. You could do it without painful earbuds or bulky headphones. Second, it's true blackout. No street light, no morning sun, no distractions, and the fit is completely adjustable. It's super soft, so it stays in place all night long. Does not put any pressure on your eyes, your ears. And what I love the most about it is that it solves all your problems all in one. You get darkness, you get audio, you get comfort, you get the perfect setup. So no more juggling earbuds, a mask, a machine. It's perfect for side sleepers, travelers, light sleepers, or anyone who just wants a deeper, better sleep. And here's what you do. You go to mantasleep.com, check out the Manta Sound Mask along with their full lineup of sleep products, and make sure you use my promo code Asman, my last name. Use that at checkout and unlock 10% off your purchase. That's promo code Asman for 10% off. Get some real sleep. You will thank me later. Shout out to the Manta Sleep Mask for helping me sleep better after depressing New York Jet losses. Shout out to Manta for supporting the Jake Asman Show. Oh yeah, we'll be sleeping great tonight after another Jet debacle. Shout out to Manta. Awesome to have them on board on the program. To your calls we go. Let's go to Gallant, who's first tonight. What's up, Gallant?
Oh, this is working. I've never done this before.
You're on the air, Ryan. Let it rip.
Let's go, baby. Hey, good to see you. I was with Maddie tonight. I put the super chat in, but at some point we need to evaluate our players, right? So I don't understand what was the over under prop tonight. I think was Justin Fields 75 passing yards, right? Like that's crazy.
I think it was a little higher than that. But the point is the fact that it was like being like noted on the broadcast when he eclipsed 100 is like the most obvious sign that everyone besides the head coach knows that Justin Fields can't play, and yet the coach is trying to laud him after the game tonight, which is embarrassing.
And when did they announce the quarterback? I felt like they didn't announce it until like 8 p.m. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was.
I don't think they ever did announce the quarterback. It just Fields went
right.
out.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. Yeah.
Yeah, we all assumed it was going to be him because it was a short week and they had won 2 in a row. But if you really wanted the competitive advantage, you could have went to Tyrod Taylor. But hey, they took the ball, they scored. Great. Give him credit. Angstrom called a great opening drive. Fields executed. The second the game script was done, right? Your scripted plays that you put together. Once they got away from that, Vrabel adjusted. They had no answers because the Patriots have no fear of Justin Fields beating them. And obviously the Jets don't have Garrett Wilson, so it's not like they have this great dynamic playmaker that can win with anyone throwing to him.
How did the new receivers we got? Like I haven't really paid attention too much, but I think Adonai Mitchell didn't do great. Mechie got a touchdown, right? But
Mechie looked good. His touchdown came on a broken play, but
a broken play, right? Yeah. Someone fell down or something. Yeah.
Mitchell was bad. He had a couple key drops. One of them was on a deep ball that could have completely flipped the game. Tough play, but you got to make it if you're an NFL receiver. But there was a couple plays where he's thrown behind Mitchell, and there was one play early in this game where he was off on an easy pitch and catch, and we've seen this. The second Fields misses one of those type of throws, you know it's going to be one of those nights where he's just terrible. He's a starting pitcher in baseball that when he doesn't have it, you know right away you got to have the quick hook. And this head coach has proven time and time again he will not go out and make that change.
Very fair. How's your night going, by the way?
It's
my first time ever doing this, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. So
well, I'll tell you what, Ryan, you did a great job. First time caller, you're in the raffle for 2. I appreciate it, man. Ryan was hanging out with my cousin tonight, my cousin Matt. So shout out to my guy Matt Cachopo, who just celebrated a birthday. So happy birthday to Matt. More calls right now. Let's say hello to a guy who I'm sure was fired up watching a man he once believed in. He doesn't believe in him anymore, though. It's Castro time.
Oh, shit. Good evening, Jake.
Hello, Peter.
I'm cross-eyed. Listen, he could say whatever he wants to say at this point. All right? We all have eyes. We all see what's going on. Justin Fields stinks. He absolutely stinks. All right? And for him to go on and turn around and tell us, well, I don't want him to get hurt. If he runs too much, he might get hurt. Are you serious? That's what you got him for. You got him to run, not to throw. He's supposed to be a runner.
And what are they worried about him getting hurt for? He's got an extra 10 days to heal up and get ready for the next game. This is when you use his legs and be more aggressive on a night where you know you're outgunned against a better team and you got to pull out all the stops to have a chance to win.
What did you give him $30 million for? For what? For what? And I really think that Glenn must have said to him, I guarantee you I won't pull you or I won't take you out. I just don't get it because he should have been out at halftime again tonight. He was done. He was done at the half. He was finished. He wasn't going to do anything more. And the other thing is they go into it in the fourth quarter. They have no 2-minute drill. He was running the clock down 30 seconds. Every play was 30. So what is he doing? Slow as shit. I mean, just it's painful to watch this fucking clown. It's painful. And you know what? I want to see Brady cook. I don't even want to see Tyrod Taylor because he's going to get hurt anyway. So back him up with Brady Cook and let's see what he can do. I want to see somebody that could throw the ball. He can't throw the ball. He makes the whole team look bad by what he does. 3 and out. The defense is back on the field. You can't sustain any kind of drive with him. It's impossible. And if he's not going to run, who needs him? He's an abortion. And I got news for you, Jake. This coach, he stinks too.
Which
The
one?
more I watch him, the worse feelings I'm getting about him. He's this whole coaching staff. I'll give what's his name, the offensive coordinator, a little bit of a break
I
because
think
of Justin Fields.
Yes, I think Angstrand, I don't think he's incompetent. I don't think he's been great, but he's learning and his hands are tied. I think Banjo, the special teams coordinator, Chris Banjo's been by far and away the best coach that Glenn hired. But I mean, Wilkes is terrible. The defense, I understand they aren't as talented now after the Sauce and Quinnen trade. They shouldn't be this bad. And even tonight, I know they made some plays. They settled down a little bit. 1 turnover through 10 games, an NFL record. Come on. That if you're that inept, the entire defensive coaching staff has got to be blown up in my mind.
This whole thing got screwed up when he should have fired Sala and hired Grable before Mayo got fired. We would have had Grable. We could have kept Rodgers, drafted a quarterback, and let him sit behind Rodgers for a year or two, and we would have been on our way. But, we always do everything freaking backwards. He waits 3 games into the season last year and fires Sala. All right. Then he puts that Obrick, who's a total abortion, as the head coach. And now we got this clown. And I tell you what, they should fire him. At the end of this year, if this continues, he should be fired, and they should bring somebody in here like McCarthy or Gruden or one of those guys, because there's nobody else out there that I see.
Well, I don't think Glenn's going anywhere. I really don't. I think when they allowed him to make these trades with Sauce and Quinnen, he sold Woody on the long-term vision of what they're building. And I think it's a load of shit, because I think that Aaron Glenn's done a terrible job. They shouldn't have been 1-7 in the first place. And you think the Patriots regret moving on from Gerard Mayo? You think the Jacksonville Jaguars regret moving on from Urban Meyer? You think the Denver Broncos regret moving on from Nate Hackett? And look, Glenn still has time to prove himself, but once again, tonight, I didn't expect him to win. No, but stop losing because of the same reason. Make a change at quarterback and try something different. Fields can't play. And when he's this stubborn about it, how does that give me any confidence that he's going to adapt and have any sort of feel for what needs to be done going forward?
And do you want him coaching a new quarterback?
No, I don't. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice.
I know we don't have a choice, but if they keep him under these, I can understand. I would rather keep Muji and get rid of Glenn and this whole coaching staff.
Muji at least has done a good job of getting max value on these trades.
Yeah, at least he's got some valuable. As far as Glenn goes, he told us he was going to coach them up. He was here to win, right? He's not here to win. He's here to lose the way he's playing, And how'd you like the end of the game? I mean, they just ran the clock out on themselves.
Yeah,
they don't know what they're doing.
They gave up. They gave up at that point.
Clueless, Jay.
Yeah. Look, they didn't get embarrassed tonight, so I guess that's some progress. But that's really where the bar. The Patriots were 4-13 a year ago. That's the thing. It's the mighty Patriots. They were worse than the Jets a year ago, and they flipped it immediately. It's just all these teams could figure it out so quickly, and we're being sold on this long-term rebuild, and it's nonsense, man. And Woody buys it because he's such a dope. It's just it's agonizing.
Well, last year, I remember last year when the last play of the game, Bochy or whatever the receiver's name is on that team, made that catch, and they wound up winning the game, right? But they were considered worse and worse personnel than the Jets at that point.
They finished with a worse record than the Jets last year.
Right. They were worse than the Jets. And now look, a coach has done this. One person, a coach, because the people he has on that team are the same people, everybody's the same. So other than the offensive linemen that they got in the draft. Yeah. So how did we fall so far back if Glenn is any kind of a coach?
Well, I think the biggest concern I have is a lot of guys who were good football players with the previous staff, they've all gotten worse. Like what defensive player has improved under Aaron Glenn, Steve Wilkes, and the other coaches on that side of the ball?
None.
They've all gotten worse. And you can't say, oh, Glenn needs to get his guys. He chose to keep a lot of these guys. He didn't want to move on from these guys. Jamie and Sherwood, he paid. Tony Adams, he brought back. They tendered him. Michael Clemens, they actually could have saved money on their cap if they got rid of him. They chose to keep him, right? Like, it's just, and like Quinnen wasn't having a good year when they traded him, not for his standards. Sauce wasn't having close to the year he was having his first 2 years with this staff. You keep going down the line. Like, who's gotten better on this team? Like, Quincy's regressed. Sherwood has been so bad. I already mentioned him, but it's worth noting again. I mean, their secondary is an abomination. Who's improved? I'm not seeing any improvement from players that we know are better.
One player has improved, the punter. That was the biggest improvement.
He's a new player, but yes, they have special teams. I think has been the best, the best thing they could point to. Even the special teams, more because of personnel, not because of coaching. Like the Gibson fumble cost them week 1, and like we all could have told you, Xavier Gibson didn't belong on the team.
Well, did you see Michael Clemens tonight in the first quarter? He fell down on the floor. The guy ran right by him. I mean, what's he doing at defensive end? He doesn't belong there.
No, he doesn't.
He's got cement shoes. He can't move.
That's bad. They need a quarterback, Peter. That's where it all starts.
Starts with a quarterback and a coach.
Yeah, well, I think we're stuck with the coach for at least a year, so you hope he improves.
I hope so, Jay.
Or this gets so bad, then maybe Woody would rethink things. But I really think he's safe, even if they go 2-15.
I don't think Woody's going to rethink things. He already made his move, and if you notice, he's staying more in the background, out of everything. He's not as vocal as he was last year. Anything he says is stupid anyway. He never says anything smart.
Yeah, well, the one time he opened up his mouth, he called the quarterback he gave $30 million to basically, inept. So, I mean, it's a joke. Honestly, he should have came out and ripped Fields before this game. Maybe he would have played better.
Oh, what's his name? Glenn threw Fields under the bus with Woody. He's gonna take to the blame. It's all Fields' fault now. Who picked him? Who picked Fields?
Yep.
Glenn. He was gonna revive him, right?
He was gonna be the one that was gonna coach him up. They were gonna be the ones to let him play quarterback, was their quote.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, I want to see new quarterbacks. I had enough of this guy. We don't need to see him anymore.
Yep.
We already wasted enough money on him. All right, Jake.
Peter, appreciate you. Good call. Super chats cut the line. Kevin says thanks for the shows. Third show today, people. Thank you to everyone who tunes in. Best listeners, best fans in sports. One day, we'll see wins. Until then, it's mock draft season, baby. Jets, for those who just tuned in, are currently slotted at number 3. More calls right now. Let's say hello to Rob, the Jet fan. Hello, Rob.
Hey, Jake. Jake. I mean, Peter Castro said it beautifully. I mean, I don't disagree with anything that Peter said. Peter admitted, in the beginning, Peter thought that this quarterback could possibly get us a playoff and stuff, but now he sees the garbage that this quarterback is, and obviously I'm talking about his play of football. I mean, I know he's a good person in real life and stuff the way he is, but I mean, he's a horrible football player. He's 4 for 7, 23 yards, Jake, and there's our inept, dumbass coach leaving him in there. Here we are trying to evaluate these wide receivers and players that we have on our team for the future. And it really cuts your confidence, Jake, that these guys can pick even the right quarterback when we finally do pick high and we go for a quarterback for the future. The most important position other than the knucklehead Aaron Glenn himself. And it's scary. It's scary because, you see Woody, how he butts in and he puts his business into this and that and that. And he couldn't do it that year when Salah was starting off the year and Vrabel's just sitting at home. And he couldn't just go there. And right there, he should have fired Salah and say, you know what? we have the opportunity to get a great coach.
Well, that was the mistake, right? If the Jets could do it
Huge.
over, the biggest mistake was retaining Saleh and the staff going into 2024 if they were only going to get 5 games. Because Mike Vrabel would be coaching the Jets right now. I'm sure of it.
Look how fast this turnaround with New England. Like you said, Jake, look, people want to sell you on it takes 3, 4, 5 years. Oh, no, you got to believe and stuff. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, Jake. Because look at New England. They're 9-2 this year. Didn't take that long. They got away from Mayo. They admitted that Mayo was crap. And what do? They hire a guy like Vrabel, and he turns it around. And did you hear what they were saying today? Vrabel is involved with every aspect of the game for New England. Defense, special teams, offense, every single thing he's involved with. That's how intelligent that guy is. And we knew it too. But no, we got to get this dumbbell, Glenn. I'm telling you, I know we're stuck with him, Jake, but I'm telling you, he's going to be the death of us. Because even if we pick the right quarterback, I don't think we're going to know. We're not going to know if we have an inept coach like Glenn. Unless if he hires the right people to coach up this new quarterback. He finally gets rid of the running backs coach that he's using as a quarterbacks coach, which makes no sense whatsoever. That guy's got to get fired. They got to get a real coach's guru. They got to get rid of Wilkes, no doubt about it. And then we got to start making little replacements and stuff. But, we got to work on, obviously, the offense first. But then, like the defense, we could always exchange a corner here or there. But, I mean, I don't have confidence in this at all. It scares
you
the
shouldn't,
crap out of me,
Rob.
Jake.
You shouldn't, man. They're 2-8, and they look bad. So you shouldn't have confidence right now. You got to just hope it gets better, assuming Glenn's not going anywhere, which I don't think he is. They lost tonight. They didn't get embarrassed, so we could play the moral victory video, I guess. But it's just deflating when you see New England. They were a 4-win team the last 2 years. Now they hit on the coach that is able to hire a great OC and McDaniels to help develop the young quarterback, and now look at him. These rebuilds shouldn't take that long. The Jets, they weren't embarrassed tonight. Fields embarrassed himself, but they didn't get blown out. If people want to give Glenn credit for that, that's pretty low bar, man. At least we don't have the national embarrassment. There's no LOL Jets tonight. It's all directed at Fields. Tough. But the problem I have with Glenn are his quotes just defending Justin Fields after this game. Listen, there were some good things, really good things. I thought he put some balls out there. We got to have some guys that make some plays for him too. Yes, there were 3 drops tonight, Aaron. I understand that. But look at the numbers, man. Boss Girl writes in, everyone pretending like the Jets turning around is like other teams turning around. We've been horrible for 15 years. Pats were bad for 2. It took the Bills Lions time after sucking forever. Now do Houston and the Redskins. The Commanders. Do the Texans. 3 coaches in 3 years. What changed? What changed? They hired a franchise legend as their head coach. CJ Stroud. They won a playoff game each of the last 2 years. Don't tell me Houston is mid when they have gone out there and have been in the playoffs and winning playoff games the last 2 years. The Jets can't sniff a winning season. Now do Washington. They were in the NFC Championship game last year. The problem is the Jets keep hiring first-time coach, first-time GM who are learning on the job. This rebuild shouldn't take that long. It's such a joke, man. I'm sorry. It's just, this team is just not built to come back with this quarterback. And that's the problem. If the Jets get behind in any game, they're cooked. The only game they were able to come back in was Cincinnati. They were down 10-0, 17-3, but the Bengals defense, we saw it. It's the worst defense ever. Brutal. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing and sing along.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
Boy, do I miss Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Boy, oh boy, it wasn't that long ago, but here we are, and fucking quarterback purgatory once again.
7 more games, Neil, and then we hopefully draft our guy, and we fight about who that guy's going to be, and get ready for the offseason of screaming and yelling.
I got to tell you something. Steve Wilkes shouldn't make the end of the season. How do you come out of a commercial and start a defense, and you start with 12 men on the fucking field? You got to be kidding me. Do you forget that? 12 men on the field to start after a commercial break.
It's ridiculous.
Okay? 2 guys going for a pick. You know what? Michelle and I was watching the game with Michelle. She was funny. She says to me, Neil, why doesn't one of the guys say I got it when the ball's in the air and the 2 guys are colliding with each other? I said, that's a pretty good idea, Michelle. One of the guys should have said, hey, I got it. And the other guy could have ducked out of the way, and we could have had our first interception. That would have been a pretty good idea. I got it. That's all I had to say. Instead, the 2 idiots bang into each other. And, again, Stiggers gets hurt, and then we got to worry, then he goes into the locker room. Look, Sherwood, I don't know who calls the defense when they're out on the field. I think Sherwood is supposed to be the quarterback of the defense. Would you say that he's the quarterback? Because these guys look like they're scrambling around. They're jumping around. Soon as Patriots move, our defense looks totally disheveled. Guys are out of position. Guys are not covering guys the correct way. Guys are left wide open all over the field. Jake, you want to tell me the defense wasn't that bad? I don't know what the hell you were watching. The defense was a shit show.
I ripped the defense. I mean, they were better in the second half for what it's worth, but they sucked in the first half. They had too many penalties. They didn't force a turnover. They once again, Neil, they've now set an NFL record for most games without interception. Like, it's insane.
And in the red zone, I mean, when they play zones, fucking Stevens, Sherwood let the running back run right by him into the end zone. Sherwood's sitting on the right side. He should be on the, going to the end of the end zone. Guys are just it's just not organized. The defense is not organized. So I will start with that. Okay. Oliver not covering, Glenn needs to take control of the defense. I mean, because Wilkes is just doing a horrible job. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay. One thing I got to say with Fields, he doesn't snap the ball, Jake. Could fucking Myers put a fucking snap at his chest for once? Every goddamn time he snaps the ball, it's at his kneecaps.
He was bad for sure, but also, can Fields fall on that fumble though? How does that end up being a turnover?
No. Wait a minute. I want to tell you this. In his defense, he tried to pick the ball up, and Membu kicked it out of the way, and that was the end of that. He should have fell on it, but he tried to pick it up.
Yeah,
right?
That
was. But it started with a friggin' ball at his shoe tops. Come on, man. And he did it over and over. Fair. I mean, I got to count. I counted at least 10 snaps that were at the knees or lower that Fields had to reach down for and grab almost off the turf. And when, I mean, that's as simple as it gets. And I'm going to tell you another thing. I am not going to look at Tomlinson. Tomlinson missed a key block on the only screen we threw all goddamn day.
Who's Tomlinson?
And Tomlinson. It's what did I say?
You said Tomlinson. Who's you mean John Simpson?
No. Laken Tomlinson.
Laken Tomlinson's on the Jets anymore.
He's the old guard we had. This guy is just as bad, if not worse. He missed a beautiful screenplay that could have broke for 40. He missed the tackle, and the guy tackled him. He went like this. Oh, he missed the easy block on the screen. He got manhandled by that tackle. Was in the backfield all game long. Offensive line had a pretty bad game there, I would say as well. Forget about the drops. I mean, god damn. I mean, and like you said, the bar is so low that I can't even say Fields and his games as a Jet, it was probably one of his better games, even though it's such a low bar, Jake. It's just incredibly low that it's hard to really even digest the fact, look.
They're a bad team, Neil. They're a bad defense that can't force turnovers to make up for some of the lack of talent, right? So they can't take over a game or give the offense a short field. And you combine that with an offense that if the game script is not perfect, they can't come back, especially now without Garrett Wilson. They're a bad team. Like they're good. They're not the worst team in the league, but to me, the record should not be this bad, but they are a bad team and they are poorly coached until proven otherwise.
I will tell you this, Jake. I think if they had one thing, even Herb Street said it. Why isn't he rolling out of the fucking pocket? Not even once. He sits in the goddamn pocket. He threw one ball and hit the guy in the helmet. He's not good in the pocket. He's got to get out of the goddamn pocket, and he wasn't doing it again, game after game after game. The biggest mistake they made was not having Adrian Martinez on the roster because when I saw him in preseason, he moved, he throws. Any competent quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, you put any quarterback out on that field, Tyrod Taylor should be on the field because anybody.
He needs to start next week. I mean,
right. Anybody, Jake. Anybody could be better than what we have right now.
Agreed. You got to try something different. We have to evaluate the players that are on this team. I want to see more from Mitchell. Maybe, he has first game jitters tonight and he could actually catch the football next week. But Tyrod Taylor can run an NFL offense. Is he great? No. But I just think you'll be able to properly evaluate Engstrand as a play caller too if you let him call an offense for Tyrod. Like they're so limited with what they could do with Fields. There were times where I thought Engstrand actually called the right play and Fields just missed the throw. How bad was the intentional grounding that he had today too? The lack of an awareness just to throw it near Mason Taylor to his left, just throw it at his feet.
All he had to do, Jake, he was out of the pocket. He stepped back into the pocket and threw it.
All he had to do was throw it at Mason Taylor's feet. That was it.
He had to step one step to the left and whip it into the crowd, and it would have been nothing. He didn't have to throw it in the middle of the field. He could have thrown it to the sideline, and they never would have called grounding. The fact that he threw it in the middle of the field and everybody was 50 yards downfield, that's the other thing. If everybody's 50 yards downfield, instead of throwing the ball, why doesn't he escape and get a 30-yard run? The fact that Aaron Glenn has the goddamn audacity to say, we don't want him to run too much because we all know we don't want to get him injured. Like Peter said, what the fuck do we have him here for? We have him here so we could goddamn run with the ball. That's what he does. God damn it. What are we trying to turn? What they did, Jake, is they put a camera on his head during camp, and they wanted to turn him somebody into a pocket passer that his whole career, starting when he was in high school, he was a running quarterback. So now they're going to turn him into a throwing quarterback. That doesn't work, Jake. It just doesn't work. The experiment has failed miserably. Enough. Either he runs out of the pocket, runs. If he ran today like he did in the first set of downs, he looked great in the scripted plays. He looked good. He broke out of the pocket. He made a few first downs, and then he stopped. Then after the script was over, he sat there in the pocket doing the same shit he's done for the last 4 games. And that's on Engstrom. I got to tell you, it's on the offensive coordinator. I'm not giving this guy a pass. I'm sorry.
You shouldn't give him a pass.
He's not calling plays correctly.
That's why I would like to see Tyrod Taylor get an opportunity.
Yes.
And let's really evaluate Engstrom.
What about give the kid Brady Cook a shot, man.
He should get a shot when Tyrod inevitably gets hurt over these next couple games.
Let's assume he's still learning, and we'll play him the last 3 games and see Brady Cook and have Tyrod back him up if he doesn't perform or he gets injured or something. I mean, I guess that's where we're headed. We can't do it anymore with this. But I'm going to tell you something. Aaron Glenn pissed the shit out of me when he said, and he acted like everybody was in agreement with the fact that we don't want him to run too much or he's going to get injured. Didn't you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, the defensive fields tonight, from
what
his play to why they didn't have him run more, it's asinine. It's a joke. You signed him, I thought, because of his dynamic ability to make plays with his legs, and they're now afraid of him getting hurt. Give me a break. It's a joke. He's coming up with whatever excuse he can to defend a guy that he gave $30 million guaranteed to, and it's just any Jet fan with a brain should not accept the BS excuse making from the head coach.
It's really sinful. We got to put ourselves through here for another goddamn season. And I'm going to tell you
games.
Drake May, by the way, he's no Patrick Mahomes. Let's make it real here. He wasn't that impressive.
He's good though, man. He's 23.
He's good, but he's
only
not
going to get better.
He's not an MVP candidate.
He's not the best quarterback in the league. Fine. He's having a very good season though.
Yeah.
It'd kill to have Drake May as our quarterback.
Listen, I told you earlier, and I'm going to stick to this. Okay. Minshew, Murray. I'll even take Brissett next year as a bridge. I do not want this guy as a bridge next year. Murray would be a very good quarterback. Like you said, we wouldn't have to give up a lot of draft capital with him. He could come into the system because he is a running quarterback, and at least he runs once in a while. But I'll tell you, Kyle Murray could throw the football when he needs to. And with a good offensive line, he could perform. He hasn't had a good offensive line with the Cardinals. And that's why Jacoby Brissett is getting his ass kicked, because he doesn't have a good offensive line. So Kyle Murray, let's focus on that for next year for nothing. And at least we'll have a bridge that could go through. And that's all I got. Have a good night. I'm hitting the sack, baby.
Neil.
I'm gonna do what Paul Boy Green does.
These goddamn exploding cigars. Like, gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
Neil, thank you. What Neil is referencing is, hold on. He's referencing this.
So we're going to get into all of it here. Again, my name is Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. We come 2 hours after every final whistle here for the postgame show. And I'm going to be honest. The only good thing that happened to me late tonight, early this morning, was making sweet, passionate love to my fiance, which I did after the article was written and that kind of stuff. That's the only good thing that happened. Not great. Terrible.
Gets me every time. I don't want Kyler Murray, Neil. His contract's ridiculous. The only argument for Kyler Murray is that it wouldn't cost you draft capital, like significant draft capital. I'm good. They're drafting a quarterback. You got Minshew, fine. You want to sign him? Let him be the veteran mentor to the rookie. Minshew plays till the rookie's ready. If he's not ready right away, I'm good with that. Justin Fields, if he's on this team because he's under contract, he's the number 3 quarterback. He should not start games with the Jets. I'm so sick of it, man. Honestly, Justin Fields is like Brad Smith at this point. Like, that's how he needs to be utilized. Remember Brad Smith with the Jets? Those should be the packages we see Justin Fields after tonight. Let me get to the super chats here, then right back to your calls. Normally we would do 3 hours of post game, but I don't know if I got 3 hours in me after I did 4 hours already today. Kevin says, thanks for the shows. Thank you, Kevin, for watching all the shows. Peter writes in, Jake, only reason Glenn got the job is because he agreed to get rid of Rodgers. Nothing to do with his coaching skills. No, I think he was on board with getting rid of Rodgers. I don't think we need to do the revisionist history on Aaron Glenn getting this job. He was a qualified candidate. He had interviews set up with other teams over the last couple of years. It hasn't worked so far. And maybe it could get better. I have major doubts. Oh, but Jake, Dan Campbell started bad too. Like, if we're betting on outliers to be reasons for why we think it's going to turn around, I just think we're setting ourselves up to be disappointed. So I'm tempering my expectations, right? Like I am at a point now where I have usually been so optimistic and positive about the Jets. I now need to see it before I get back to that. Because the last couple of years they've killed me, honestly. Really the last 15, but just it really feels hopeless when you also see who the owner is. Really. The guy who got an F from his players, then complained to the NFL owners, hey, we should get rid of the NFLPA report cards because they were mean to me. See that story today on ESPN? Woody was apparently the one that was spearheading the owners to try and file a grievance with the PA over these report cards. Like, it starts at the top, man. And Aaron Glenn has convinced Woody Johnson that he has this master plan to now rebuild it and tear it down. When, like, Aaron Glenn told Woody Johnson this team was going to be able to be competitive this year and win games, and that Justin Fields, they were going to coach him up, and he was going to be a guy that we could take and develop and we can get the most out of, and we don't need Aaron Rodgers. We're going to have the same players that were here a year ago, a team that was so badly coached with Ulbrich, and they're just as bad with Glenn. They really haven't gotten better. Have the Jets really improved this year, folks? Where's the improvement? They have wins this year over a awful Browns team and the Bengals, who also aren't any good. Where's the improvement? They can get blown out tonight. We're celebrating that. Like, all right. Like, I guess some of you will be like, yeah, that's great. I don't know, man. I just disagree with that. I think if he went to Tyrod Taylor and it didn't work, I don't think I would be this, like, just down on the performance tonight. I'd be like, all right, New England's better. We know that. At least you made the move to give yourself a better chance with Tyrod. You tried. It didn't work. But it leaves such a bad taste in my mouth when I hear the head coach try and basically gaslight us into thinking that Justin Fields was good tonight. He was awful. You know, like, that's what gets me down. Like, yeah, the defense played a lot better in the second half. Great. But New England, I think, also took their foot off the gas because they knew that just let's run the clock out on them. You know, they didn't get killed tonight, and there's no Garrett Wilson, so, you know, they obviously the deck was stacked against them. I get all that, but I didn't think this was a really well-coached game by the Jets. Too many penalties, too many players on the field coming out of the timeout tonight, right? Number 29, the guy they just acquired in the trade from the Chargers, not knowing that the Patriot player wasn't touched. I don't know, they were sloppy tonight. Great opening drive, and then after that, they scored 7 points once the scripted plays were up. So, you know, not the worst performance. They didn't get embarrassed, but I'm not feeling great about it. Niall says, what did Vrabel do to get all this great coach praise? With the Titans, they were trash. You really want to sit here and say Mike Vrabel was trash with the Titans? He went to an AFC championship game and Ryan Tannehill was his quarterback. He beat Tom Brady and Belichick in their last ever game together. What are you talking about? They were the 1 seed with Ryan Tannehill. He's the favorite to win Coach of the Year right now. He was trash with the Titans. Mike Vrabel's first 2 years with the Titans, by the way, they were 9-7. Guy, this comment is so stupid. I know you paid for it, but goodbye.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Like, come on, man. What's the Jets' record with Mike Vrabel right now? I promise you they're not 2-8. They're probably 4-4 with Mike Vrabel, realistically. At least. Or 5-5, I guess. Excuse me. I'm not good at math to begin with, and my brain is fried. Maybe they're better than 5. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But I don't think they'd be 2-8. Mark with a super chat. I missed 45-yard field goal away from a 30-14 score. My non-Jet fans texted me condolences after the game. I feel this game was an embarrassment, just my opinion. Hey, I get it, Mark. From a score standpoint, it wasn't a complete embarrassment, but yeah, I mean, I'm not proud of like the performance tonight. How could we be proud of the performance when like everyone that watched, besides the head coach, knows that Justin Fields can't play? You hear what Willie Colon said on SNY after this game? I mean, about time, someone publicly saying this. Maybe Aaron Glenn can listen.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man, because Aaron Glenn's going to sit up here and talk about how he needs to watch the tape. You don't need to watch anything. Justin Fields is not an NFL quarterback. Like, let's just be honest. And you can't sit here and tell your team and before games and want them to rally and want them to give you all they got when you're not giving your team everything they need to be successful. I mean, she shouldn't have played in the second half, right? Especially when you have a defense who is without Quentin Williams, Sauce Gardner, and who played, I mean, all in all, scrapping.
Without AZ Thomas,
they were in this game, and this is a game where if you win this game, you're on a 3-game winning streak, and you really start to rally the troops because now they start believing in each other instead of the talent around them. And everything you're trying to sustain, they're saying, you know what? We won one less. We beat the #1 team in the AFC in New England. This is billboard stuff, right? But you didn't do it solely because what? So this is like from a ball player standpoint. If I'm sitting in that locker room and he's talking to us and he's talking about what we should do, I'm like, no, what should you have done? Then what I should have done, because the tape don't lie. I'm on the field. We watched missed throws, bad mechanics. He doesn't trust his feet. We said in the pregame he needs to see it and throw it. I mean, there's guys literally like this, like Pop Warner football
Brees
with their
like
hand.
this.
One time, like me and Barbara saying, Brees turned around was like this. That's not the NFL. You got to see it and go. And it's just it's redundant and it's tired. And I feel bad for those guys because you could tell they're still playing with pride, right? This is a Thursday night game. The Patriots are coming off a big win against the Bucs. This felt like they was about to roll. I watched this offensive line. Me and Connor said it behind the curtain. This offensive line came out ready for a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And so I'm more frustrated with Aaron Glenn, and because it's not about the ball players. It's about Aaron Glenn. What he did tonight was nonsense. It's ridiculous.
Thank you. Thank you. A joke. A joke. Defend that one, Fields Truthers. Joke. Defend that one, Glenn Truthers. The head coach failed the team again tonight. Willie's spot on. Well said. Joke. Luppy is up next on our post game. What's up, Luppy?
Hey, how you doing, Jake?
What's up, Lupp?
I'm pissed off. You're pissed
You should
off.
be. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I mean, what the fuck is Glenn doing? Why are we fucking pushing that guy out there every single week? What is he doing? Why does he do that? He's not an NFL quarterback. What are we doing? This guy is not there. I mean, everybody. Glenn got the team together. Okay, I'll give that to him. Glenn got the guys playing hard, but then he puts that guy out there. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? God, I can't take it anymore. I mean, it's just stupid. If he's going to be an NFL coach, you got to know somebody who can lead and somebody who can't. Fields cannot lead this team, and just do something different. And if I am a player on the team for the Jets, and this guy's not going to throw me the ball as a receiver, and this guy's not going to get us down the field. As a quarterback, there's no faith in the team. So why does Glenn keep putting this guy out there? What is he doing? Is he trying to tank? Is he trying to tank, Jake? What is he doing?
I think he's very stubborn to his guy. They gave the $30 million contract to him, and I think it's to a fault because I do think he had the team playing hard tonight. I think they weren't embarrassed tonight, but I think the head coach's decision making held them back again, and that concerns me.
But how does he not know that this guy is not the guy to lead the team? And then you're going to trust this guy in this regime to pick a quarterback, to take these picks that we got and pick a quarterback, pick a regime? I mean, no. Unless they're just like duping us and they're just tanking like some weird way. But no, it's not going to happen. No, I'm not okay with that. I am not okay with that. Jake, I'm pissed off.
He had an intentional grounding on a bootleg tonight. Like, he has no awareness for the quarterback's position. What are you doing? Throw the ball at Mason Taylor's legs or throw it away or don't run back into the pocket. Like, I'm rewatching that play now. It's getting me angry again. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, a lot of things that get me angry. Jake, yeah, remember we talked about how many? Jesus, I lost count because of this game. I lost count because of this game. I'm going to tell you right now, though. Addy Show's in there. Addy Show guys, how you doing? But this is the things that make you think that the coach is not the guy. We all know the quarterback's not the guy. This is the things that we say that maybe the coach is not the guy.
I don't think he is, but we got to hope he gets better, Luff, because I really don't think he's going anywhere. All the love. Hang in there.
JETS. All right, let's go.
All right. I know what we need right now. We need maybe an energy boost, right? Grab your Red Bull vodka. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about jets, that boy, he's jamming, he's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. It was a bad game today. So let's talk about maybe my positive. So the opening drive was good, but that was like my only positive. So negatives. Our defense did not play good. Granted, they played better in the second half, but in the first half, they played horrible, Jake. Only reason was like 7-14 to that opening drive touchdown. Then we scored a touchdown Mechie. Mechie's looked promising, but you know what? Justin Fields played horrible today, honestly. And all these Fields truthers, like, come on. You really think Justin Fields played good because he had 168 passing yards? Bro, it's such a low bar. Even Kirk Herbstreit out Michael's like, oh, they make it such an accomplishment that Fields had 100 passing yards. It's embarrassing, Jake, like, honestly. And I was talking to my friend the game is like, we got to get a quarterback in the draft. I've not even valued the quarterbacks. Like, people are like, oh, 2027 is better than 2026. Trust me, Jake, we need to draft a quarterback. But I haven't really scouted, but I think the Jets should draft a quarterback, whether it's Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson. I think we should draft. I've not evaluated these quarterbacks yet. I usually wait till like around draft time to evaluate the quarterback. So, but I know Mendoza's been looking good, and the Fields fumble was horrible. Jake, I'm going to show you guys what you should do if you fumble the ball. I will show you right now. This is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. Oh, my bad for that. I'm just. This is what you have to. This is what you're doing, Jake. This is
what do we have to do, Max? You said what do we have to do 10 times. You haven't shown me what I have to do.
So we have to do, Jake. So you have the football.
Okay.
That, and then you fall on it. So you have to fall the football, Jake. So you have to do.
Have you gotten a noise complaint yet in the college?
No, not yet.
No.
But this is, I don't know if anyone can't see it in the form. This is that's the ball. Oh, and then you have to fall on it.
Thank you, Mad Max. Have a great night.
What are you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mad Max, the #1 ranked Asmaniac in the month of October. Hey, how about this? Our first 20 spot of the night. Let's go.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
I could go out there and play quarterback. Why not? I got a chance to complete some passes, unlike Justin Fields. It might be the same result, but at least I'm trying. Ladies and gentlemen, 20 gifted memberships from The Mark. He's in our raffle for 20. The Mark, thank you very much for supporting the show, my friend. Jonathan Galla, Stephen Fox, Justin Fields, please never play for my team again. Jonathan Elardi, Rob Damam, Football Lovers 68, Aaron Glenn Truthers, Leave, Brian Friel, Jose Duran, Spencer, thank you for sending me $100 for winning the easiest bet of my life. J8 Silent Bob, MJ Wilson, Mike F, Addy Show for Life, JC, Jonathan Valentine, and Tyler, all receiving a channel membership hit, the Jet Chant for The Mark. All right. Home stretch of our post game here. We're not going to go for that much longer. So if you're on hold, I promise we will get your call in. Appreciate everyone who's still watching live and everyone after the fact. We should have Beningo at 10 in 9 hours from now. So check back around then. I'm filling in. I should have said this at the top of the show. I'm filling in for Michael K tomorrow on ESPN New York from 1 to 3. So I will talk plenty about the Jets from 1 to 3. I'm still planning on doing a show with Joby in the morning, 2 hours of radio, and then an afternoon show. But check the Discord for updates and when we'll be live. Coochie says, it is buffoon AG serious with a dumb press conference. Sick of the tease and the mind-numbing defense of Justin Fields. Shake my effing head. It's a joke. It's a joke. We're not a serious franchise if we continue to start this guy. We're probably already not a serious franchise, but if we want the illusion that we have serious people in charge, if you start Justin Fields next week, I defend that one, Aaron Glenn Truthers. You can't. Big Islander fan. Glenn, blame nobody, expect nothing, do something. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to hear him be critical of his players, right? He's critical of the media. He's all upset about all this bullshit. You know, Aaron Glenn's wearing an Amazon heating vest on the sideline tonight for whatever reason. How about be critical of your own team? Be critical of Justin Fields. Gotham Green Goblin, who's been a huge supporter tonight. Thank you, Gotham. I got all your entries in for Tuesday's raffle. Jake, get some sleep. Our beloved New York Football Jets will be able to rage about in the morning. Don't forget my super chats. Same old Jets. I will be sleeping soon. Don't you worry. Chris says, just think like this. He's the bridge. Arch is the next quarterback. No, stop with Arch. He's not coming out this year. I'm not doing Fields for another year. We don't need the pretend. Let's stop. More calls. Joe to Jet is next. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Jake, how we doing? We doing crappy? I'm doing crappy. All right.
Yeah,
So,
you know what? Like, I didn't think they were going to win tonight. They didn't get truly embarrassed. It's just, you know, the Patriots were worse than the Jets last year. Now look how far away the Jets are from them. It's just, we play a different sport on offense compared to these teams. It's unbelievable.
well, I mean, Justin Fields can't throw a forward pass. I mean, what frustrates me the most about him is just the simple stuff, right? You know? So every time when you do a play action under center, right? And I know this is not Justin Fields, go-to. But, this is how the offense is designed. Then again, it's Aaron Glenn's fault for signing a guy that doesn't really fit the offense, but that's neither here or there. Justin Fields, every time he does a play action, he just stands there and does not get rid of the ball. As soon as this is what we saw from Drake May in the same game. As soon as his back foot hits and he turns around, the ball is gone. During the intentional grounding, it was an under center play action. He turns around, does not throw the football. He tries to make a guy miss, does not throw the football, and then he throws an intentional grounding. What are we doing? Stuff like that just makes a quarterback unrosterable to me. I just and it killed the drive. It was like 14-7 still at that point, or at least it was a touchdown game at that point. And just like that, you just killed the drive and you gave the ball right back to the Patriots. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's just like it's stuff like that, man. It just gets me just so frustrated. This team needs a quarterback next year. They need a quarterback. They need to draft a guy. I'm tired of waiting. This whole wait till 2027 stuff. That's no guarantee. There's no guarantees in that. Okay. First off, to all the people that are saying, hey, let's get Julian Sayin in 2027. Let's get Arch Manning in 2027. First off, they're going to be juniors next year. So they have the opportunity to say, you know what? I'm going to bypass the 2027 draft and I'm going to go into the 2028 draft. And guess what those people are going to say? They're going to say, wait until 2028. I'm tired of waiting. I get it. We have drafted bum after bum after bum. I get it. We drafted Zach Wilson. We're burnt by that. We drafted Sam Darnold. Yeah, we didn't surround him in the best possible position, and we're still burnt by that. I get it. We have made bad decisions. But sometimes you got to make a chance. You got to take a chance. And whatever quarterback, Mendoza, Simpson, you got to take a chance. And I have one more thing to say. Can we cut Alan Lazard, please? What does he do? He did not have a single snap today. He is useless. Just get rid of him. And Michael Clemens can go too. The touchdown that he gave up was ridiculous. He had Trevion Henderson dead to rights. Trevion Henderson did a little juke move, broke his legs, ran right through for a touchdown. I am done with Michael Clemens. I don't know why Aaron Glenn is so adamant on keeping certain players like Justin Fields and Michael Clemens out there on the field. I'm done with that. Please, for the love of God, next year, cut Michael Clemens, please, and Alan Lazard. Those two can go. So I'm gonna leave it at that, Jake. I'm gonna go take a shit, and the turd will probably look as better as the Jets' offense. See ya.
All right then. I was not expecting that, but thank you. What a transition. Let us know how that goes, Jeff. Thank you. I could use a good laugh. There's no rules apparently when it's 1:11 a.m. and you're still streaming. The Mark who just gifted the community 20 memberships, he wrote this in. It's hard to even like this team with these players, this coach, this owner, but Glenn is the absolute worst. He is, for lack of a better word, just a dick. I think he comes across incredibly unlikable, and I get it. He was a great Jet as a player. I don't know, man. I think his act with the media is silly. I think it doesn't end well. Name me the coach that was an asshole with the media before he won anything and it actually worked out. There's no example I can think. I just don't see how this ends well for us. I hope it gets better because I spend 4 hours of my day year round talking about this team. I'm a diehard fan. Why else would I be in hour 7 of football talk about a 2-8 team now? But I find him incredibly unlikable. I don't think he has distinguished himself at all this year. I'm not saying he can't improve. That's what we're all banking on. And they have resources galore to try and fix the team and all that, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of red flags with the head coach. Obviously, the quarterback's a huge problem, but he's a big reason why this quarterback's here. Let's not forget that. More calls right now. Derek is next. What's up, Derek?
Hey, Jake. What's going on, brother, man?
What's up, man?
Not much. I was so pulling for a win, man. As a really tough loss. I wanted to echo your sentiments on I really think that we would have benefited a lot probably from benching Fields there in the first half. And I know nobody really wants to maybe talk about that. I thought the overall team effort was pretty good. I don't know how you have Brees playing as good as he has been lately. And I don't know. I feel like we could have found a way to get him the ball a couple more times. I really would have liked to have seen what we could have done against the Patriots tonight if Garrett Wilson would have been lined up on opposite side of A.D. Mitchell, because I think A.D. Mitchell was creating great separation for most parts of the game. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it's Tanner Engstrand or we got to just let Fields unload the ball a couple more times down the field.
I think it's Fields, though, man. Honestly, I'm not as sold on Engstrand as others are, but I'm not even going to really kill him for tonight. I'm just not going to anoint him. I want to see what he looks like with Tyrod or Brady Cook for the next 7 games here.
Yeah.
But there were guys open tonight, man. There were some plays Fields just missed, man. Guys were getting I forget at what point in the game it was. I think it was in the first half. It was 3rd and long, and they ran a beautiful pick play. And what's his name? Mitchell got open, and Fields just put it in a terrible spot where Mitchell had to come back for it, and he couldn't hold on to it. Maybe Garrett makes that catch because he's Superman.
To the right sideline, he had to readjust.
That was a great.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that was a great scheme play by the coordinator. I thought Tanner. I don't know. I thought there were. I watched the All 22 this week. I thought there were guys open though, and I actually watched the All 22 kind of live. I had the second monitor up. I was saying earlier because Amazon gives you the alternate broadcast with that camera view,
nice.
And there was no respect being shown for Fields. They stacked the box, but I thought Tanner called some plays that guys were open. It's just. Either the receiver dropped it, there were 3 drops, or Fields just missed them. And you can't win with your quarterback this inept in most of the starts this year. It's just you can't win in the NFL that way.
Yeah, I'd agree for sure. And look, AD was going up and he had to adjust his body and turn back. But he only had one corner of the safety to beat on the right side of the field there. And I think if Fields puts that in the right spot, I think AD maybe turns and burns that for about a 60-plus yard touchdown. And I didn't mean to slight Engstrand. I was just more speaking to where I think he should just let Fields sling it. Just take more deep shots downfield. We had that one early down the left sideline to AD again, and it was just a little bit behind him. And I think the precision on the quarterback on Fields, I think if we hit on that one, because this is a 14-7 game going into halftime. I didn't mean any slight to Tanner Engstrand. I thought he called a pretty good game for the most part. I would have liked to see Brees get a lot more carries there. But I thought
Or used in
overall,
the passing game again too. Like, where are the manufactured touches to get Brees involved more? What did Brees have tonight as a receiver? He finished with 2 catches for 6 yards on only 2 targets. Like,
yeah,
that's not a good game plan. Like I don't know how much of that is on Fields, but it's just I
right.
don't know, man. I that's why like I don't think Engstrand's terrible. I'm not as high on him as others are. But I'm not saying I can't be. I would like to see Tanner Engstrand with a Tyrod Taylor led offense for a couple games here just
Right.
to see the difference. Because like you could see, I was at the game against Carolina when they benched Fields. All of a sudden they're throwing the ball again and again and again because he believes in Tyrod more than he clearly believes in Fields. So I'd like to see that with a full week to prepare as Tyrod is the starter, what it would look like for a couple games.
Yeah, I remember because AG was dodging it all week, but and we really didn't know the pregame because I had Amazon Prime pulled up and that showed Justin Fields coming on the field, and I was like, man, I really would have loved to see what this game could have been like if Tyrod does stroll out, because I feel like he has a lot more. Like, we're not gonna have to sit here and deal with what was that stat you showed the other day? Like 4 out of 8 games under 6 yards passing. Like, you cannot strive again in the NFL that way. Like, you cannot have a quarterback who cannot throw for 60+ yards in a football game, in a national professional football game. And it's just a bummer. I love Justin Fields, a human, but like, I don't know how you don't bench Justin after that first half, especially when the score is 14-7. And it's just, I don't know. Like, as much as I think Garrett Wilson would have helped being on the field today, I don't know how you don't get Brees more. Like, we had a 42-yard touchdown screen to Brees for that touchdown against the Browns, which arguably was like one of the best plays of the game. Otherwise, outside of that, he had like 12 passing yards minus that 42-yard screen. So love Tanner, and I think he with missing Garrett Wilson, I think he called a pretty good game plan tonight. And I love that we're going to Mason Taylor a lot more earlier and often. And I like that Malachi Moore's been playing. I'd actually like to see him start. Isaiah Oliver had a pretty rough game. Brownlee had a really tough game. I don't think that game was officiated very fairly, man. I'm seeing Will Campbell. They're showing highlights during the game, and I'm like, that's a hold on Will McDonald. That's a hold. And Campbell's a great player, rookie left tackle for the Patriots, but I don't know. I feel like
just
the
saw a video
officiating.
of Campbell just throwing Michael Clemens out of the club. Honestly, the fact that Clemens plays as much as he does just speaks volumes about how badly they misevaluated their own roster. Thinking that he could play for them, thinking that like Tyler Barron. I know he had one nice play tonight, but there were some other ones where it was just like, what? Like they really like McDonald, I think, is a nice situational pass rusher. Jermaine's a good player. They really don't have anything on the defensive line now, especially without Quinnen.
Yeah, on the edge. Yeah, if we had like one defensive end outside of McDonald and Jermaine Johnson, we might actually have something coming off the edge there. Although I think because they hit us with 6 to 67 yards penalties, and the Patriots only had 2 all night, and they called that one on special teams. I think it was like in the second quarter, and I don't think it's a very fairly officiated game, but I don't like putting the games on the refs because I know that's not an easy job per se, but I really don't feel like the officiating was fair at all tonight. But to your point, every time I see number 72 and Clemens on the field, we normally know, and we've been watching this for how many years? To your point about how AG chose and picked this roster, and like I don't know, man. Every time I see Clemens on the field, I just get nervous.
It's tough not to be, Derek. It's hard. It's hard. Let's hope let's hope they show some life last 7, and if not, the offseason is going to be exciting, and we'll convince ourselves it'll be good, and then we'll be disappointed at this time next year, but we'll have the offseason to look forward to.
Heck yeah. Hopefully we get the quarterback right. I don't want to take too much time. I know you got a busy day tomorrow. I just want to thank you all for having me on, and to all that fortunate enough to be a part of, and love you guys, man. Hope you all have a good one.
Derek. Appreciate you, man. Great call as always. Appreciate your support, man. Appreciate everyone tuned in. We still got 700 people watching live right now. God bless all of you. A reminder, the show's available as a podcast. So if you ever want to take us on the go, just search Jake Asman Show, Apple or Spotify. You can listen back to anything you might have missed. We got a couple calls left here. I did want to play Connor Hughes' live report from the field up in Foxborough. We'll listen in, and then we'll get to your last couple calls.
Justin Fields was not the Jets' biggest issue against the Patriots. He's not this team's franchise quarterback, don't get me wrong. But what Aaron Glenn said after this loss to New England about other guys needing to help the quarterback, that's absolutely the case. The 3 drops by A.D. Mitchell, that did far more harm to this offense than anything that Fields did or did not do.
All right. Shut up, Connor. Respectfully. Stop it. Really? He had 23 passing yards at halftime. He threw an intentional grounding on 2nd and 10 with his team trailing 14-7, completely killing that drive. Jets have the ball at the Patriot 46-yard line. Third quarter, 14-7, and he threw an intentional grounding. You're not going to reference that? Really? How about the fumble that he had? Give me a break. Yeah, there were 3 drops tonight, Connor. Justin Fields also stunk and had 23 yards passing at halftime. Continue.
But that guy on the other sideline, that dude that goes by the name of Drake May, he showed why this offseason the Jets need to do whatever they can to get the guy that they believe is a franchise quarterback on their roster. Because once you have that player on your team, he makes all the difference. Think about the Patriots the last few years. They were a disaster, one of the worst in the entire
Who's
NFL.
their head coach?
They drafted May last year. They started to develop him a bit as a rookie.
Who's
now,
their head coach?
put the coaching staff around him, put the nucleus around him, and you've seen what a difference he makes. He changes everything. There were times on Thursday night where the Jets got pressure. It just didn't matter because May moved within the pocket to buy his guys time and then hit them down the field. There were certainly plenty of examples of receivers running wide open in the Jets secondary, but when they weren't, May threw guys open. This is a Patriots team that last year was 4-13. This year, with May in year 2, they are 9-2, contenders within the AFC, and undeniably the best team right now in the AFC East. That's right, not the Bills, the New England Patriots with May. So the Jets traded away Sauce Gardner. They traded away Quinnen Williams. They did that to get a ridiculous amount of draft compensation. They now need to use that draft compensation to either take the quarterback organically, or if they find themselves picking 3, 4, 5, go up and get your guy, because no price is too much to pay for a franchise quarterback, because the difference he makes, you saw it here in primetime.
Yeah, it's also coaching too. You think the Jets are 2-8 if they had Mike Vrabel right now? Please. Come on. They need a quarterback this offseason. They'll wait till 2027, people. Stop. Stop. There's no perfect prospect. Take your chance on a guy and surround him with talent. Right now, they're picking number 3. Tennessee doesn't need a quarterback. You're going to get Simpson or Mendoza right now, if those are the top guys. All right, Jordan. Close us out tonight on the postgame. What's up, Jordan?
What's up, Jake? Couple things I want to talk about was how I hate listening to Eric Glenn in the press conference, whether it's before the game, after the game, during the week, it doesn't matter. He has horrible press conferences. The second thing is that I think with A.D. Mitchell tonight, I don't necessarily think it was like more of a drop issue. I think it was more nerves than anything tonight with him, and just getting comfortable. And I think some of the balls could have been placed better by Justin, especially that one deep ball that he had where he tried to catch it over the shoulder. He had Gonzalez beat it out in front of him and made it an easy.
Jordan, your internet is worse than the Jets' performance from their quarterback tonight. Yeah, you could make a case on one of the plays. A.D. Mitchell could have maybe tried to draw the DPI with Gonzalez on him, right, in the end zone play. Like, I want to see more fight for the ball. I know Joe Blewett and I were texting about this. But Fields got to make a better throw. I feel like if Fields puts that towards the back of the end zone, guess what? It's a touchdown. Assuming Mitchell catches it, which we can't assume, but you get the point. Hey, look, Jets lose, but we will have that first drive for the rest of our lives, people. Where were you when the New York Jets started tonight's game? With a 14-play, 72-yard drive that ended with a Justin Fields quarterback scramble. Where were you? We'll never forget it. You guys are the best. Thank you for tuning in. I hope everyone has a great slumber. Beningo at 10 a.m. So that's less than 9 hours from right now. That's at least the plan. I'll hear from Joe, I'm sure, in the morning. Please like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're new around here, we talk Jets every single day, 4 hours a day, year round. That's right. more content on the Jets on this channel than anywhere else. And thanks to the 43,000 plus subscribers who are with us every step of the way. If you want bonus content, your name in the intro, just a great way to support the show, plus access to our private Discord where the Jet conversation never ends. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Big shout out to everyone on there. Just $6 a month, or you could save 15% for the year if you sign up for the entire year. You guys are the best. I think we did like 8 hours of broadcasting today. Would have been nice to cap it with a win, but hey, it is what it is. We're back tomorrow. Beningo in the morning. Radio 1 to 3 in for Michael K on ESPN New York, and then we'll likely do a second show in the late afternoon. But that does it for me. Again, thank you all for watching. I leave you with a message from Sean. Go Jets.
I'm just like moving and grooving.
Get your football.
Oh, man,
Let's
Jay,
work on ball
you wanna
security.
get-
We cannot have any fumbles.
Ball security, Jay.
Yep. Secure your balls.
This is the ball.
If you hold it like that, it's going to get knocked out. Protect it.
Like this.
High and tight. Yep.
So this is my football right here going in the toilet.
What? No. Ball ball security, man. High and tight. That's why we keep losing. The whole point of this exercise is to manifest change. We're trying to get a win.
Scataboo time.
Giants it's not scataboo time. You just put the ball in the toilet. Flush your toilet. Let's go.
Is it going? It's not. Is it going down? Oh, damn it! Smell that toilet water?
Oh, good God, man. I'll tell you what, if the Jets do win, Sean, you're calling in every week and you're putting the football right back in the toilet.
People think I don't want to work, which is not true. I just had a bit of a nap not too long ago, too, so that didn't help.
Love it, dude.
You're talking about how people don't.
You can't say that people think you don't want a job and then say that you came off a real good nap. It's a hard 2 sentences to put together, Charles. It is. You got Jake off the camera.
How do you not see the irony of that, Charles? This is why Charles is the best of the best.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.